first topic of the day. Yesterday, I can't remember if I mentioned this off. I think I mentioned it off the air. So your guy Jeff Lloyd, who you do the Browns podcast with, Locked On Browns.
Shout out to Jeff, man.
Jeff put out a tweet, and I agreed with the initial point of his tweet that don't trade Kareem Hunt, which we've talked about a lot the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. And he said Kareem Hunt is the third best skill position player on the Browns, and that's where we differed. I said third. He's clearly the second best skill position player on the Browns because in my mind, and G and I agree that I don't think he's a distant second either. I think he's close to Nick Chubb in my opinion. But I think clearly Kareem Hunt is the second best skill position player on the Browns. I think he's a much better in my opinion, a significantly better running back than Amari Cooper is a wide receiver. What say you guys?
I don't disagree with you. I think with the situation that this is the thing. The Browns got a great offensive line, right? And we know going into this season that the offensive line is going to produce. I think that Kareem Hunt's going to benefit from that. Amari Cooper, on the other hand, he got a variable. The quarterback is the variable for him. Yep. Who's throwing him the ball? Can he get the ball where he needs to be? If he beats the guy on the route, is the ball going to come zip? Can he, if he does do a double move and beats him down the field, is that ball going to make it down there? So it's too many variables for him. We talking about just the individual player. Yeah, Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in the league, hands down. But due to the fact that the quarterback situation is what it is, I think you have to go with Kareem Hunt because you know that offensive line is going to produce, and there's nothing for Jacoby to throw him a little dump pass out the backfield. So.
Right. And Brad, I think some fans have forgotten how good Kareem is because he doesn't play as much here. So we've forgotten, we just think he's good, but he's better than good. I think he's elite.
You got a couple things. I mean, if you were in the Toledo area, you know who he is, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And secondly, folks not watching Kansas City over here like that. Right?
Sure.
So this kid, if he played every day, if he played all the time, you'd have a 1,000-yard back and a person catching 300 yards, 350 out the backfield,
Yeah.
minimum, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
And this is what I'm so frustrated about. And I like Stefanski. Well, but do you know what you have here?
He better find out this year.
But no, I'm going to take you back in time.
Yeah.
Remember when they had Mack and Biner here, and both of them was 1,000-yard backs?
Yep.
This is what you have here, right? He's not a third down back come in for a little spot. You play him below his skill level here, right? You have to find a way, obviously, to get him involved. And I would just tell you, there's no question. He's the second best skill player we have here. And anybody that's thinking any different don't know the game of football.
I mean, even Stump Mitchell, the running backs coach, came out and said, we haven't even seen the best of Kareem.
That's right.
Hunt.
By the way, we've
been holding him back.
Is that the best beard in all sports?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best beard.
So if a coach comes out and he's standing on it, y'all haven't even seen the best. This guy is better than y'all even think. This gotta be the year that you gotta utilize.
That's right.
And on top of that, when you get late into the season, you want to take some of them hits off your running back. If you can keep mixing them up, all right, Kareem, you go this time. All right, Nick, you go this time. They'll both take hits off of each other, and you can have them towards the end of the season instead of it being, we got to miss Nick Chubb for 3 games because he hurt type thing.
Well, don't you do that when you put them both in the backfield? I don't know who's running the ball, right? If I split them behind the quarterback, you don't know who's running the ball.
No, that's fact, yeah.
Right. But I said, we sit here and I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now. Freaking no. The first game come out here, and we
Kevin
still doing
Stefanski's gotta wake the hell up
same
right now.
dumb mess we was doing last year. It's going to be a problem.
OG had that face on when his daughters break curfew.
Right.
What you talking about? The call over here in my house is 9 o'clock. I got to go to work.
I give you an interesting stat. Do you know that the first game of the season between the Browns and Baker, one of them will win their first game, their first opening game for a long time? Because Baker's never won, and the Browns haven't won in
forever.
I tell you what,
something got to give.
A lot longer for the Browns.
Can I get that stat you gave out yesterday? What's that stat again?
Baker against winning teams?
Above 500 teams.
7-21.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
6-14 in one year, 1-7 in the other. Is that it?
Right. No, he was
when he's not hurt.
They said, well, what about the 8 years he was not injured? The first 3 years he was 6-14.
6-14.
And then he was even worse last year at 1-7.
Well, and I just want people to swim in that for a while. Right? Those are facts. Those are they're not disputed. These are facts.
Yeah.
Right?
So that means he's averaged 7. He basically has averaged a 2-5 record per year against good teams.
But this town
That's
is
awful.
going crazy. Like, this Staubach. This
Yeah,
not
right.
Staubach. It's Baker.
not.
It's not
It's
Staubach.
Jeff George.
Let me get back.
What is it again?
I said Jeff George.
Jeff George had it on.
Don't denigrate my Big
That's
Ten
true.
friend. Hold on.
Let me get back to Kareem
something
Hunt.
right.
Scott Mitchell. How about that?
There we go.
I'm gonna get back to Kareem Hunt here, and I just break this down. I remember playing in 2003, right? We I was playing for the
And I
OU
was in the
Bobcats.
third grade.
2000, that's crazy.
It is.
We was playing a Big Ten team, right? We was playing Minnesota, right? And I remember they had us so hyped up. We was running defense. They's like, oh, we the number 5 ranked rushing defense in the league. Fifth ranked rushing defense in the whole entire NCAA. And you know what they did? Minnesota came in and said, okay, that's nice, that's cute. We got a couple guys you might know of, Lawrence Maroney and Marion Barber.
Whoa.
That's
We've
some dudes right
been
there.
kid dudes here. We know exactly who they are.
That's some dudes.
We got out there,
R.I.P.
right?
to Marion, man.
And I remember being on the field and being like, yo, they got both these dudes out here. I remember just not knowing what the heck was going on. I was getting blocked. I was so caught up with like, okay, which one of these cats got the ball, which one don't. And I'm going to tell you what, they did us so dirty. I think Marion Barber had about a 135 and 2 touchdowns.
And a half.
And Lawrence Maroney was the understudy, and he had about 150. I said, he might be better than that guy. Long story short is, see, sometimes when you get coaches, sometimes people only know how to coach when they don't got talent. Let me explain. When you don't got talent, what you can do is you can run stuff that you're comfortable with, because you're going to say, just run it, because this is what I'm doing. Now, when you get talent.
That's the problem.
When you get talent.
That's the problem.
They don't. Think about how many times LeBron James would have not been LeBron James if they wouldn't have said, listen, give him the ball and just move out the way. Magic wouldn't have been Magic if he would have had some little 6th grade coach that said, you
Well, he did. He had Paul Westphal. Got his ass kicked.
That's Westhead. That's how Westhead got fired. Because he was like, I'm born to coach. No, you born to coach on the sideline. I'm Magic. Coach, you know?
This is magic. So when you get Kareem Hunt, and we'll give it back to you here in a second. When you get Kareem Hunt, you're supposed to be spot shadowing him. Yeah. He is not a third down, come in, spell Nick Chubb. Because there's a lot of y'all out there. Y'all don't be watching no film. I done seen every cut up. All of them. All 22. And you think that Nick Chubb is better than Kareem Hunt by a large margin.
Let me ask you a question. So if I'm Amari Cooper, I want both of them in the backfield.
Damn right.
Yeah, because that's going to free me up.
Absolutely.
It's going to free me up all day long.
That's right. Well, here's the thing, guys. Like, you made a great point at the end. So the Browns, they don't treat Kareem Hunt like a backup, but they treat him like a 1-2.
Yeah.
Not like a true backup who doesn't play, but they treat him as a change of pace back, or whatever you want to call
They
it.
treat him like an understudy.
But he's not.
Not an
What he
understudy.
is 1A, 1B.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay? And he's a 1B that would be a 1A on all but like 4 other teams. Okay? Tennessee, whatever, a couple teams. So they've got to treat him like that when it comes to play calling and usage. And when they do that, not at the expense of Nick Chubb, because we don't want him losing any touches.
Right.
We do it on the expense of the other guys who are just guys. I am not in the business of trading elite players.
Right.
You win with elite players.
You do.
Kareem Hunt is an elite player. And the league, so this idea that, okay, we're going to trade Kareem Hunt to get a wide receiver. First of all, like I said yesterday, there's only maybe 20 receivers I would consider trading Kareem Hunt for, and none of them are getting traded. Jay yesterday said Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's not trading Mike Evans.
Who you getting?
Tampa Bay's not trading Chris Godwin. No. So who the hell else am I taking from Tampa Bay?
Julio Jones.
I'm not taking some team's third receiver who's just a guy for one of the, I think, 5 at worst top 10 backs in all of football. That's crazy.
Not when I still say it's free agents out there who can still get it done.
That's right.
Everybody need to.
Not to mention there's young players that still are unproven.
It's still guys that's going to get cut for the 53 that you still can go pick up. So it's a lot of times like you got to let this thing play out a little bit. I think everybody's like panicking a little too.
You have to rely on. He's been in the business. He understands again. You're not picking up. To your point, we're not picking up anybody on a trade. There's no other team out here that I can think of in the NFL that's got 2 number ones. You know, you can go down to Dallas and tell you got Zeke, and then you got the Pollard behind him. They ain't no. Zeke's the number 1. The other dude is the number 2. I don't care, right? Even if Zeke runs less than he was running before, he's still the number 1. We have 2 number 1s. If you ran Hunt the same way you ran Chubb, them numbers would be just almost identical.
I mean, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yes, it is.
As an offense and on the defense, knowing that, okay, Nick Chubb went down, man. But Kareem Hunt in there, we good.
Yeah.
Like, we good.
It shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take that for
I'm saying, if you get rid of him,
right.
I don't think they necessarily saying that if Dearness Johnson's coming in.
Right, and that's how the Browns.
Even though Dearness Johnson is good, but I don't. It's.
But he's not special. He's good, but he's not special.
Exactly.
And if you want a third down back, Dearness Johnson can give you that. I think this comes down to this, and I think about this all the time.
Yeah.
This is the same level of frustration that I had with Odell Beckham Jr. Because in this market, we do this all the time. It's every single year we get an athlete. Well, we don't need him, or we need to just spread it around the fullbacks, or Baker is better. We can win without him. Why is it that you have an issue with figuring out a way to get playmakers the football and being innovative? Kevin Stefanski didn't do it when Odell Beckham Jr. was here. Now we have Kareem Hunt here, and it's like trade him. Like it's the same thing we had OBJ. Trade him for this. Get him out of here.
I'll tell you,
It's
Hey, G,
just
to your
crazy.
point, because to your point, I had a lot of fans would be calling me and said, I think Baker's better without Odell, which he wasn't.
That was the dumbest.
And people were saying, well, when Baker doesn't have the pressure to throw to, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Did Aaron Rodgers feel pressure to throw to Devontae Adams? Did Patrick Mahomes feel pressure to throw to Tyreek Hill? Does Joe Burrow have pressure to throw to Jamar Chase? That's stupid. You want to throw to those guys because they're great players.
Well, I think everybody forgets the Odell effect. That was the problem. Like, if he wasn't getting the ball, it still was the fact that defenses came and defensive coordinator said, this guy right here, we got to stop him because he is a big deal.
Yeah.
So now everybody else is open. Once he was gone, what they do? Load the box, and everybody was getting one-on-one coverage, and they wasn't winning their matchups. So Odell was perfect for here. It's just it didn't work out. And secondly, it's got to be a little bit on Stefanski because I continue to tell you, he went to the Rams and they never, ever had a press conference saying, we got to find a way to get Odell.
Ever.
Never. It just so happened that he was wide open and they got him the ball.
And I will tell you, and I'll go back to last year, if you had Jarvis on one side, Odell on the other side.
You know what? We're going to talk about this in like 5 years and they ain't going to believe that
Jarvis,
we had this.
Odell, and I split those backs with Hunt and Chubb in the back. You on the defensive side, you can't tell me you know which way I'm going here.
Well, that's true.
That's crazy.
But now it is more imperative than ever to have that great running game because Jacoby Brissett is a marginal quarterback. And you need to, Jacoby Brissett's not looking, and the team's not looking for him to put the game on his back.
Yeah.
He knows his role. He's a smart guy. He's going to manage the game. He's going to throw. He's going to move the ball down the field. He's not going to take chances throwing deep passes. And he's going to get the ball to his talented players. And his most talented players are Chubb and Hunt.
So let me tell you the problem with young coaches. And Stefanski is in what is his third year as the head coach?
Yeah.
Right? Let me tell you the problem with young coaches. They're born to overcoach, right? They always got to feel like they got to be in the mix. You see the veteran coaches who really have success in the game, they know when to just sit there and shut up, right? And just manage to play here.
Right.
So you have this game here, right? And we have weapons. And it's okay. You don't have to have your imprint on everything. Sometimes you got to trust your people.
Yeah.
Like, listen, sometimes I'm not even calling a play.
AVP calls great players.
I'm coming to you, Hunt. I'm coming to you. I'm going to need 3 yards out of you. I don't care how you get it, but you better get it, right?
Yeah.
And that it's not like I got to scheme it out for you. Like, here it is. I'm going to need you to come on with this thing. That's what the veteran coaches learn to do. Like, trust your people. When you trust them, you empower them. And when you empower them, they're like, oh, man, it's on me. I got to get it done. Most people are competitors by nature.
Right. And I it's kind of like, you in the political realms, and just like you say, when you at the top, one of the things you do all the time is empower people to bring you smart people around you, right? To bring you certain things. You might not be the greatest finance guy, but you know what? You can surround yourself with somebody that's smart. You business guy, I can surround myself. So what you can do is
smart people know what they don't know.
Bring them all to the table, right? And say, okay, what's the best way we can utilize this? My problem with Stefanski is he hasn't brought out, he's not bringing in the guys and saying, hey, what you like on this play? Kareem, where do you feel like you can get open at? What formation? This is this formation for you. And then have other people, Van Pelt, other people come in, give you that information, because it's all about innovation. Every single year as a coach, you should come into the league and say, I want something different. I want to add something to my playbook. What if not people not seeing? And the McVays do it, the Shanahans do it. Andy Reid is a genius at it, because every single year, that's why they start off fast, because they are layering their stuff. So you got succession after succession, and now you're like, well, I don't know what playbook they run. They just run plays because they're innovative. I don't see this from the staff.
Stefanski has to adjust, and if he doesn't, we're going to be roasting his ass this year. If Kareem Hunt's getting 7 touches a game, we got a major problem.
Ridiculous.
We got a major problem. Mikey, what do you got?
I just want to insert a little bit of information into this conversation. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Nobody's taking Cooper. Is anybody on any of the fans taking Cooper?
Well, we'll get to what the fans are saying first, but we do have one arbitrary, neutral judge of ratings.
Okay.
That's Madden.
No, but it's not good.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, I'm just inserting this into the
Madden
conversation.
has no validity.
Amari Cooper is the 10th highest rated receiver.
Which is a farce.
Which is, we talked about already, because Jamar Chase is not in the top 10. Let's go to the next one.
It's absurd.
Anthony with running back rankings. Amari Cooper's not, Kareem Hunt's not in the top 10 highest rated Madden running backs, but he is right in that next tier. Let's take the VO here, Steve.
Yeah.
He's number 13, just behind Josh Jacobs and Leonard Fournette, which I agree is absurd, but that was just the one neutral, arbitrary ranking we could find. Just wanted to insert
that's
that
not
evidence
neutral.
into the
That's not
conversation.
arbitrary.
Well,
I am refusing to talk about Madden rankings.
Well,
there's no person on the planet that could possibly think that Josh Jacobs is better than Kareem Hunt. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Barkley.
Or Saquon Barkley at this point. Maybe when he was a rookie, he was in the conversation. And anybody that thinks Amari Cooper is better than Jamar Chase is a freaking fool. They're not even close. It's miles apart. So that's ridiculous as well.
Well, I don't think when we talk, like I say, for this season, the Browns' second best skill position player is Kareem Hunt because of the situation that they're in. If Deshaun Watson was healthy, I might have a different opinion.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, Amari Cooper is that deal. For sure.
Oh,
he is tough for any corner to check.
Wait a second, but you're basing that on, but we're not. You can't. To me, the guy who's better is not necessarily based on production because you're in different circumstances. It's about who's the better player at their position. Now you could
Amari Cooper got a stat where it's like only him. He's out of 7 receivers that have. What's
it's
the
a silly
stat?
stat. It's a terrible stat.
Something like he's
based,
like the only 7 with like 1,000
on
or
age.
something.
We don't know how many years the guy's played. That's a stupid stat.
I'm just saying.
Amari Cooper is consistently inconsistent.
No,
he's inconsistent.
That I will agree with. If he out there and he wants to play, what they say, every player in the Super Bowl era to record at least 5 touchdowns, receptions in each of their first.
Well, that wasn't the list you were looking for. You were looking for the one that said before the age of 28, these 7 guys.
Something like that.
That's
it. That one.
But what I don't like about this stat is, do I know that they played the same amount of years? Like, did Amari Cooper come? I might have. But, like, some guys might come out a little earlier.
He came out at like 22 or something.
Be clear. Amari Cooper's a skilled receiver.
That's what I'm about to say.
Amari Cooper's a good – I don't think – he's good, but he's not a superstar.
He can be when he wants to.
But he's never been.
The problem is it's been games where he just out there. It's like, I'm just chilling. But if he on his stuff, he can't nobody check that man. That man is serious on the routes. Did you see the clip from practice? They was double teaming him and he got open. I don't care if Deion Sanders was checking. He was getting open on that route.
You talk about production. He has had 0 Hall of Fame caliber seasons. 0.
Which is why he keeps getting bounced
and
around.
Kareem Hunt, in his only year as the true starter, had a Hall of Fame season.
Well, in Dallas, it's skewed a little bit. They was running the ball with Zeke a lot.
But they got a great quarterback.
Do they?
Oh, very good for him. Very good. A little strong. Great. Dak Prescott is underrated.
Oh, is he?
You know what? I played with Dallas, and I became.
Dak is underrated.
When I first got to Dallas,
I'm not sure they think of that.
listen,
Dallas.
when I first got to Dallas, I thought he was overrated as
I'm not
well.
talking about Jerry
I thought
Jones.
Dak Prescott was overrated.
I thought he was, but when I got to Dallas and
guys are
watched him
racist.
operate and how he carried that offense, I said, "Oh, he is not."
Dak is underrated.
He's nice
I think.
for sure.
He's good.
McNuggets,
He's really
what you got,
good.
man?
Go ahead, man.
Let's just get the internet responses in here, and as
Please.
always, when we talk to the
Seriously.
internet, it's brought to us
See what
by
these knuckleheads
PCC
have to say.
Airfoils. Looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Mentor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up, plus get full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. And the question, Bull.
PCCC, 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 PCCC.
I actually like that. You know, saying a little, opera. I like that.
I'm a big opera
Is that
guy.
Fantasia?
No, I think that was a Bad News Bears theme.
It is a Bad News Bears.
I think I did it once before, but I thought
So-
it was a while ago. I thought I brought it back.
The question we asked the internet,
Yeah.
which bases on the topic we just had. Steve, let's take
Yeah.
that board full. Kareem Hunt is a blank running back in the NFL. Amari Cooper is a blank wide receiver in the NFL.
No, a top blank.
A top blank,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we're looking for rankings here.
Okay.
We
I
got
like that. I like
some
that.
varied answers here. So let's go to the first one.
Let's
Anthony,
see
let's
what we
take the
got.
first tag board. Top 15 both times, probably. I disagree on that. I think Hunt should be higher, but Cooper right in that 15 range was pretty consistent. Let's go to the next one here, Anthony. Hunt, top 5, 6. Cooper, top 15-ish. Without a quarterback, though, they both drop a lot. I think
No.
we disagree with that. I think
Kareem Hunt's-
increases Hunt's value.
Yes.
I don't know that it increases his value, but it doesn't hurt it.
Sometimes I get so frustrated because I just be looking at formations I would use. I go be going back looking at. I'm like, I could get Kareem Hunt here. I could put him here.
In the slot, you could do a bunch of things.
Here's what they did. Let me give you an example. I was looking at some film yesterday, and your boy Jim Tressel did the same thing. They had San Antonio Holmes on one side, and they had Gonzalez, and they had Teddy Ginn. Now, Teddy Ginn, when he first started going to Ohio State, they was like, we don't know if you're a corner or a receiver or a kick returner. We don't know what you are. This cat, Jim Tressel, just created a whole offense around the fact that he used to stand off to the side. But he'd be at the hash, though, in the backfield. Lined up, Teddy Ginn would be in the backfield. And they would have him either motion out or jet out, and everybody had to follow.
You had to respect
You
it.
had to respect it. Sometimes they just told him run straight past that guy, and he had a 10-yard, and you couldn't jam him because he was in the backfield.
Right.
He just take off. You couldn't get. He got a clean release, and then you had Gonzalez working underneath, San Antonio Holmes working underneath, and I was like, this is brilliant. Why are teams not running that?
You know what? You know another thing would be brilliant? Run the Wildcat with him.
Absolutely. Or with Chubb. Either way.
Take the quarterback out, put another blocker in.
Yeah.
Run the Wildcat.
And to your point, G, while Kareem Hunt's not the same type of athlete as Ted Ginn, they're different players. Obviously, he's a lot better as an NFL player. But like Kareem Hunt is a freak athlete in a different type of way because not only is he a great runner, but he's got great strength as a running back
Yes.
too. And Kevin Stefanski should have been spending the last few off seasons saying Kareem Hunt's a freak. I got maybe the best running back in football, so I got to play Nick Chubb a lot. How do I find ways to get them both on the field? It is honestly, the more I think about it, the angrier I'm getting. That we have not been hard. I've criticized Stefanski, but I think I was spending so much time on Baker last year that we kind of let it go. Like, it's been 2 years. I don't know if they've been on the field together at all.
No.
There was that one game they did it with Freddie that year.
Yeah,
one game. And it worked. And then he went away from it. and Stefanski's never done it. And he's got to be held accountable. I feel like I need to go to the Browns press conferences, but they're on when we're on. This is ridiculous.
That is the only way. And I tell people this. The only way the Cleveland Browns are making the playoffs is if you utilize, and you got to use him a lot. He has to be on the field 75% of the time, no matter who else running back is out there. Unless you can exploit that's your advantage. You said it yesterday.
Yes.
That's the only advantage the Cleveland Browns have.
Let me say this. We're not in a position where we have to trick people. I don't have to trick you.
Right.
I have these horses, and I'm going to beat you with these horses. That's all.
That's right.
I want you to know I'm using these horses. You don't know which one I'm going to use, but it's going to be him, him, and maybe a little bit of you.
Yeah.
But these three,
Yeah.
they getting worked. And I said, no surprise.
Well,
The one thing I like about Ohio State football is this. When we got workhorses, we're going to use them.
That's right.
Use them. We ain't gonna play around with
That's
you.
right.
We
Chubb
gonna
and
use
Hunt
you.
should be getting an absolute minimum in my mind of 30 touches per game. Minimum.
They should do that simply for the fact that you got Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. You got to clear his. When
That's
it's
right.
time to pass, you need to make the picture as clear as possible
That's right.
for him.
All right, speaking of guys who can